If I were to start photography and videography all over again on a budget, what would I buy today? And that's the thing, right? It's incredibly overwhelming that not only are there so many different camera brands, but also different models from the same brand. You don't know what to buy, and you certainly don't want to overspend, especially when you're not even sure that you even want to commit to the photo and video hobby quite yet. But don't worry though, Uncle Jason Vong here to offer you some of the best choices on the budget. And I've already boiled down to these two cameras right here, the Sony ZV-E10 Mark I and the Sony a6100.
The two cameras.
These are currently $599 new and around $500 in the used market, and with the holidays coming up, you can probably scoop these up on an even better deal. If not, at least a bundle that comes with some extra goodies like SD cards, a camera bag, etc. Now I chose these two cameras right here because the tech inside of them are gonna hold up for at least another 3 to 5 years, especially the autofocus and 4K capabilities. And by then, you won't even have to upgrade to a new camera. Just buy a new lens and the whole thing will feel like a brand new camera. Now most other creators would recommend the a6000, and that's a great choice too if you want to go even more budget. But keep in mind that that is discontinued, so you won't find them brand new. But also because the color science and the autofocus tracking, especially for human and animal eye autofocus tracking, it's far more superior in these two cameras that I'm recommending. Now both these cameras here are practically the same with some certain features that makes the overall user experience different, and we'll get into the specifics in just a bit. For photos, both of these are 24 megapixel cameras that can shoot RAW and JPEG, pretty standard, and they pretty much shoot the same colors. For video, both can shoot 4K up to 30 frames per second and 1080p up to 120 frames per second, and the quality is incredibly crisp. Now you don't have to, but both cameras do have a mic port in case you ever want to take your audio quality to the next level. They both use the same batteries, and they're both super small and super light, making them discreet and fun to use.
Sony a6100.
Now, the a6100 is considered to be more of a photo-centric camera, but it's excellent for video as well. This has an EVF, electronic viewfinder, which is a huge advantage over the ZV-E10, because when you're out in a bright environment, you can look through right here to see your shot. Plus, you get that classic photographer look. However, this uses a flip-up style screen as opposed to the flip-out style, and this has always been controversial on the internet, but I kinda like the flip-up style more. You know, I like it for selfies, and I like it for vlogging. Now, this is actually pretty cool for vertical vlogging. Plus, you can get this $15 to $20 code shoe relocator here, so you can move your mic off to the side. That way, it doesn't block the screen. Now for my more serious video folks, no, the a6100 does not have any picture profiles, so no S-Log3 or hybrid log gamma, but it's not the end of the world. These cameras are only 8-bit anyway, so I've always recommended shooting in the standard color profile. It's not a deal breaker, especially if you're a beginner who's looking for something basic. Now, there are different colors of the a6100, but it's only available internationally, sadly.
Sony ZV-E10 Mark I.
However, the ZV-E10 does come in either white or black. Now this is more of a video-centric camera, but don't worry, it's also excellent for photos too, especially the flip-out style screen, which gives it an edge for photos, especially when you're framing things vertically and you're behind the camera. Now this is arguably a popular vlogging camera, especially for making Instagram Reels and TikTok. That didn't make any sense, please don't use that. Now the reason why this is more video-centric is because this has electronic image stabilization in video mode as opposed to the a6100 here, which is helpful for getting steady videos, but keep in mind it does crop into your footage. This one here has a better onboard mic, so the audio sounds a bit better if you don't plan on using an external microphone. It does have picture profile, but again, it's not a deal breaker. And while it does have better video features overall, it's still a great photo camera, and it shoots exactly the same quality as the a6100. And believe it or not, it's also a better photo camera over the new Mark II that just came out, because they took away the mechanical shutter in the Mark II, which means in certain LED lighting conditions, you will see these banding lines in your photos. See Exhibit A and Exhibit B here. A and B.
Shopping used.
Now, if you're planning on picking up these cameras used, I recommend shopping from reputable stores, i.e. your local camera shops. KEH.com is also a great site for shopping used, and B&H and Adorama from time to time will sell open box ones. Not only can you save a couple $100s, but it's also properly inspected so you have a peace of mind that you're getting a working model, as opposed to buying from someone you don't know off of Facebook Marketplace. Not that it's anything bad to buy from Facebook Marketplace, but you kind of have to know what to look out for. But to save yourself the stress, just get it from a reputable place.
Jason's Lenses.
Moving on to lenses, and I would recommend getting a 35mm prime lens. This will instantly give you that pro and cinematic look, especially if you get a fast aperture one like an f1.8. Not only will this give you that creamy background blur, but also it will help you immensely in low light, so you'll get less noise and less grain in your photos and videos. Now the focal length right here, it's not too wide and it's not too tight, so it's perfect. And this will definitely make your photos and videos look and feel vastly different from what you would get from your phone. So, what should you get specifically? The Sigma 30mm f1.4 here is an incredibly popular choice. It is affordable, especially when you're shopping it used. However, I would actually recommend getting the Sony 35mm f1.8 OSS. Both the ZV-E10 and the A6100 does not have in-body image stabilization, so when you're shooting videos handheld, your footage will look super shaky. And while the ZV-E10 does have electronic software image stabilization, it severely crops into your footage, making things feel way too close. This Sony one here has OSS, optical steady shot, so the lens itself is doing all the stabilizing and you're getting that full 35mm look. No crop, no cap. It's a little more expensive over the Sigma, but in my opinion, it's well worth it because of that OSS. Plus, it's lighter and smaller. Just make sure to get the OSS one, and I'll have a direct link in the description box below for both lenses, as well as the pinned comment, so you won't have to order wrong. Don't worry, Uncle Jason Vong got you.
Cost.
So, if you were to buy either of these cameras with the Sigma 30mm lens all brand new, it's gonna run you about $900 or around $700 if you shop used. However, if you buy either cameras with the Sony 35mm lens, all new, it's gonna run you about $1,023 or roughly around $800 if you shop used. And either of these combos right here will last you a good 3 to 5 years, and even then, you won't even have to upgrade the camera. Just pick up a new lens for another couple $100 and the whole thing will feel brand spanking new. However, I do have a dedicated video where I give my best lens recommendations for Sony APS-C cameras without in-body image stabilization, which you can click right here to queue it up. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and stick around to listen to what my sponsor Squarespace has to say. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to create beautiful websites. No coding knowledge needed. Just simply choose from their many templates and designs. Perfect for photographers and online shop owners. Use my link down below for a 14-day free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can use my code JASONVONG to save 10% off your first purchase of your website or domain. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Really, just buying a lens would just solve a lot of your problems.